Well, hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Amos, and it's another day, another earnings week. You can think of the earnings week as a time where all of the different companies are giving their status updates and a progress report on how their business operations have been going for the past 90 days. Now, it's a really good opportunity for you if you are invested into one of these companies to see if your investment thesis is still there, like are things going the way you imagined them to, or if they, miss earnings by a little bit and Wall Street overreacts and they go on a sell-off, they're negative like 10 or 15% on one single trading day, it could also be a good buying opportunity. Buy the dip, as they say, right? There's a lot of heavy hitters that are reporting this week. Let's just get into it. There's so much to talk about. And these are all the companies that are reporting their earnings. So if you do not want to watch the rest of this video, or if you hate my voice, well, I'll catch you next time. This is all you really got to see. However, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to go even deeper, you better get your swimming trunks on because we're about to go swimming. We're going to go off to the deep end of the pool right here. So to kick things off on Monday, what do we got? We have Dominios. That was a spelling error. I'm so sorry. I meant to write Domino's. Domino's is reporting on Monday. What you have to know about Domino's is that Warren Buffett is really big right now on beer and pizza. He's invested into Domino's, believe it or not. So what does this say about his feelings towards the economy? I don't know, right? Because he's holding a lot of cash, but he's also invested into Domino's and beer. However, what we do share in common is that we are both bullish towards Domino's. I have it highlighted because I am invested into them, and I think of this as the king, the best pizza chain out there. Sure, when we talk about like taste, very subjective, Pizza Hut, Blaze Pizza, Papa John's, but on paper, in terms of sales, market share, and what they are achieving in a business-oriented world, they're number one. No doubt about it. And based on their last earnings report, they achieved a 6.6% increase in their retail sales for the past 3 quarters. This one that they're going to report is their 4th quarter, so it should wrap up 2024 as a whole, and we can see how they're doing. I think they're going to crush it. That's between you and me. I could absolutely be wrong, but that's what I think. And also on Monday, we have Tempest AI, which Tempest AI is a technology company that uses AI to analyze clinical and molecular data for personalized cancer care. Investors are absolutely bullish on it right now because Nancy Pelosi also bought into this company, gave them the spotlight. If you're anything like me, I knew nothing about this company until January. When Nancy Pelosi bought into it and this stock just went straight up to the moon, that's when I realized the ship has already sailed. However, I started looking into the company because maybe one day, if they do go on a sell-off and a buying opportunity does present itself, I would like to buy into it. One of the main reasons I should never invest into a company because of the founder and the principles they stand by, but I think they have a really solid CEO that is driving the school bus. Check this out. So the founder of the company, he waged war on diseases, viruses, and illnesses after his wife was diagnosed with cancer. So if nothing else, that tells me that this dude is going to do whatever it takes to eradicate and help eliminate cancer. His purpose and his why is compelling enough for me as an investor to believe in him that he's going to get the job done eventually. Maybe not this year, maybe not in 2 years, but in 10 to 20 years, I think he's going to have a pretty good shot, especially with all of the genomics and all of the advancements that we are making in the medical space. It's a pretty cool endeavor that he's trying to do. However, who's going to be hating that? The pharmaceutical companies. So hopefully he stays healthy and alive. What else do we have? On Monday, we also have Zoom, which honestly, if you are bullish on Zoom, dude, I don't see eye to eye with you. Really. During the pandemic, I think the investment thesis made a lot of sense. But now that we're operating in a normal world again, where, even Microsoft Teams has a video function now. There's nothing that Zoom does that the others can't do. even virtual backgrounds. And Cisco even has their own little video streaming platform as well. So I'm not really particularly bullish towards Zoom. And then there's also Realty Income Corporation. Need I say more? I have this one highlighted because this is a company where I have been dollar cost averaging for probably the past 7 weeks or so. I am very bullish on this company. I think they are undervalued right now. The high interest rate environment is absolutely crushing their balls, and I think that's temporary, right? Because to me, I think their intrinsic valuation should be around $70 to $75 a share. For them to be hovering at around 52, 53 bucks, dude, that's a no-brainer for me. For me. I didn't say for you. For me. I think it's an easy buy. And then we also have Apple Hospitality REIT, which is a hotel real estate company. If you're not paying attention, you might be like, wait, is that Apple Tech? And that's why I'm going to tell you this right now. Public service announcement. You should never be sipping on a glass of whiskey while you put in stock orders at 10 a.m. in the morning. Because if you do that, you might fat finger and mistakenly buy into this company that's a REIT instead of Apple, the tech company that you really wanted to invest into. As a matter of fact, nobody should be drinking hard liquor at 10 a.m. in the morning, unless you're sipping on margaritas because you're on a family vacation at the beach. I feel like that's the only opportunity that gives you an excuse to be drinking at 10 a.m. in the morning. But regardless, do not drink and buy stocks. I just feel like that's the worst decision you can make. I guess there's other things you can do that's a lot worse, but probably not the smartest thing. What else do we have? Public storage. The people that have way too much junk in their house, so they rent out an extra room or a closet to throw more of their junk into. There's Berkshire Hathaway, which, believe it or not, I think it's a pretty solid investment. I think it's a really good alternative to an ETF such as like VU or VTI or SPY, because Berkshire Hathaway is such a big conglomerate umbrella full of different companies, running shoe brands like Brooks, fast food like Dairy Queen. It even has insurance like Geico. It has all of your bases covered under the helm and leadership of Warren Buffett or people that think like him. As a matter of fact, there are people, maybe that's my new phrase. I used to say case in point a lot, but now I'm noticing that I say as a matter of fact. So I'm catching myself. I'm going to try not to use that phrase anymore. But anyways, there are a ton of people out here that put all of their life savings into Berkshire Hathaway. They do not diversify. They don't bother buying into anything else. All of their life savings are into Berkshire Hathaway, which, I can't really argue with that. I mean, me personally, could I ever put all of my money into just one stock or one investment? No, I can't do that. However, for Berkshire, I can see why they do it, and it makes sense, but I would just feel really uncomfortable. And then I'm not really too interested in the other two companies on Monday. But let's move along to Tuesday. Tuesday, we have a lot. As you can see on your screen right now, there's a lot of companies. There's Home Depot, there's Planet Fitness, which, by the way, Planet Fitness is really funny because they are a chain gym. They operate all over the US, and their business model is successful if they can get people to sign up on that initial trap of $9.99 a month, and then for you to never come back, which happens. I tuned into one of their investor presentations like a few years ago, and it was something like out of like every 10 people who sign up, 7 never come back, but they just continue to pay for the membership because one day they might go to the gym, but they end up never going. However, they're seeing a reverse trend where in the past 12 months or so, too many people are signing up that are committed to the gym to the point where there's a traffic bottleneck happening and all over the floor and all over the equipment where people are now complaining about the quality of their time spent at Planet Fitness. Isn't that a weird thing? Like, you open up a gym in the hopes that people would work out, get into shape, lose some of that belly fat, but you do reverse psychology in that you don't want people to show up And it's the more empty it is, the better off you are, because then the people that are there have a good experience. But what they're seeing is a wave of people that are staying committed to the gym. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give a shout out to people like David Goggins. I think people are now waking up to the idea of maybe walking around with 300 pounds of extra fat hanging around your belly is probably not the best idea. Anyways, I talked way too long about Planet Fitness. I used to be invested into them. And once I was in the green by like 15%, I didn't really get too much profits, but once I was in the green with them, I sold out of it because I didn't really feel comfortable. Just not really my. It doesn't fit into my investment philosophy. Not the kind of company that I would like. Anyways, also on Tuesday we have Keurig Dr Pepper, ticker symbol KDP. What I'm going to say about them, I'm going to refer to my notes. Their brand of drinks have a special amount of pricing power in that they can increase the prices of whatever drink they're trying to sell, and their loyal customers will not mind. Sure, they might complain here or there, but they're going to continue buying cans of Dr. Pepper. I don't know if I told this story or not, but one time I had a friend in college, and I went to a military school, okay? He was struggling with his physical fitness because he was downing like no less than 10 cans of Dr. Pepper every single day. He had a stash that he used to hide in our little, we had like a closet that was open faced, no drawers, and he would hide it inside one of like his sock drawers. Pretty funny. But he was drinking so much Dr. Pepper that just no matter how much I was helping him work out to get into shape so that he could pass the physical fitness assessment test so that he could commission, I feel like every 2 steps we took forward, I was taking 3 steps backwards because of his choice in, diet, drinks, and I don't know. Whenever I think about him, I get sad because I tried so hard to help him out, but I learned the lesson of you can't make a horse drink water. Like even if you lead a horse to a well of water, doesn't mean that horse is going to drink water. I think, what am I trying to say? I guess even if you're trying to help someone, if they don't want to help themselves, it's a lost cause. I think that's a better way to say it. But anyways, all that to say, you cannot argue with someone that is addicted and obsessed with Dr. Pepper and their root beer. They have a whole umbrella of different soda brands and coffees, but I think their biggest, brand would be Dr. Pepper. And the thing is, I know this is really stupid, but on an anecdotal level, on TikTok, the kids, they really love Dr. Pepper. Like Coca-Cola, I think it's good for boomers and the older folks, but Dr. Pepper is like the way to go if you're at the age of 30 or under. The kids really like it. And they actually just made a very strategic acquisition in the form of an energy drink brand known as Ghost. So this is a company that is making the right moves, left and right, and I see them as, well, I guess this is really controversial. I can't say I see them as the better version of Coca-Cola, but I see them being the new Coca-Cola going forward, if that makes sense. Although, shout out to Coca-Cola, because they make the milk brand that I love the most, which is Fairlife. Because, I don't know, you can't tell because you can only see my fat face, and I guess a part of my neck, but I work out a lot. And when you work out a lot, you need to supplement your body with the proper nutrition, i.e. in the form of protein. And Fairlife gives you 2 times the amount of protein in comparison to normal milk. So I love Fairlife, and Coca-Cola is actually the parent company of Fairlife, strangely enough. Anyways, I have Dr. Pepper highlighted because I am invested into them. I'm not going to say that they are the best company in the world, but if I were to rank them like in a tier system, I think they're a very solid C+. It's a good company. I'm not going to say it's the best, but they're far from being the worst. Because if we want to talk about the worst, look at the one right underneath them. Krispy Kreme. I mean, the ticker symbol is hilarious. D-nut. Donut or don't nut. Really good ticker symbol, but their business is just struggling. I don't know. If you're bullish on Krispy Kreme, you got to let me know. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not a believer. Call me a hater. I don't know. Dunkin' Donuts, on the other hand, I believe in their story because not only do they have the donuts, but their coffee. I know people who go out of their way to drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee because they love it that much. And I think it's that I don't drink coffee, so I don't know the terminology. But it's that thing where, the pump where you say, can I get like 3 pumps of that or whatever it is? And it's like really sweet. Whatever it is, Dunkin' Donuts version of that little pump that goes inside the coffee cup, the folks love it. There's also Lemonade, the insurance company. And then there's American Tower, which is the rival and peer to CCI, Crown Castle International. And then there's Contour Brands, which is really funny because they used to be a part of VF Corporation, and they only have 3 brands under their umbrella, Contour, that is. And they all do denim jeans. They have Wrangler, Lee, and then one more that I forget. But I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't own a single pair of jeans made by Contour Brands. Call me basic, call me vanilla, but I feel like I have one pair of jeans, and I think if I check in my closet right now, I think they're made by Levi's. So, yeah, I'm not even trying to say that I'm a Levi's kind of guy. I just don't really wear jeans. So, I don't know. And then there's the Bank of Montreal, Cava Group, which they are, I guess, how do you say this? Like Pokemon. There's like a Pokemon that's like the little baby form, and then it evolves into that teenager form, and then it evolves to like their masculine, mature adult form. Some people are saying that Cava is the new and improved version of Chipotle. I can see the hype, I can see the narrative, but I don't know. I'm more bullish with Chipotle because they have a customer base that is so loyal. When we talk about Keurig Dr. Pepper and their fan base being loyal, I'm talking about even more loyal than that. Like to the point where, back in the day in Japan, you would serve your lord, like the samurai, right? You would serve your lord to the point of just like, you will do anything to die for them. Like it's an honor to die for your lord. That's what I see when people are infatuated with Chipotle the way they are right now. There are people, I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. There are people that work in, federal agencies and whatnot. They will go to Chipotle every single day for lunch. I'm talking about some of my friends that I grew up with. They will go to Chipotle every single day for lunch because they rack up reward points and it's their favorite meal to eat. So it's like, dude, Chipotle, by the way, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's one of those companies that I'm eyeballing right now. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger. They are around $52, $53 right now. Once they hit $50, I'm going in. I've been eyeballing Chipotle from the sidelines for way too long. The opportunity has finally arrived for me to put my money where my mouth is, to put my foot where my nipple is, for me to be able to buy Chipotle. I believe in their story. So, whatever. We also have Intuit, which is a AI. They're trying to label themselves as an AI company helping to make taxes more efficient. There's AMC. You don't even want to get me started on how sad my heart gets when I think about the movie theater industry declining. It makes my heart shatter. Don't get me started. And then there's Axon Enterprise, which is a really interesting company because their investing thesis, hear me out, okay? I'm not saying that I believe in them, but just hear this out. So they make law enforcement equipment, and I guess for the military as well, in the form of tasers, body cams, and dispatch software. So what I'm seeing is as border control ramps up and they're hiring more people and law enforcement agencies across the nation right now are getting funding increased, I can see this company walking with more profits in their pockets in the near-term future. I'm not saying their long-term horizon is going to be super successful, but at least for the next 2, 3, 4 years, I think this is a company that people are sleeping on, Axon. Would I ever invest into them? I don't know. Because if we're going to be talking about like military equipment, weapons, and stuff like that, I would just rather keep dollar cost averaging into Huntington Ingalls. And right now I'm still eyeballing Lockheed Martin. I would rather invest into the big boys rather than like body armor and, tasers. I don't know. Different people, different strokes, right? What else we got? Tuesday, we also have Coupang. I talked about it maybe like 3 times on this YouTube channel. If you don't know what it is, I'm about to put you on. Coupang, you can think of it as the Amazon of South Korea and Taiwan and parts of Southeast Asia. This company is doing everything pound for pound that Amazon is doing. They're copying them, the playbook. Successful. And look at how successful Amazon is, right? That's exactly what Coupang is doing, except Coupang comes with better customer service. They go above and beyond to make sure that you're going to stay with them for life. The leadership, the business model, the economic moat that they have, beautiful. I'm invested into this company, believe it or not. It's one of the few growth stocks that I'm into. If you should check it out. It's pretty interesting, their story. And then the Bank of Nova Scotia. And do you remember the other day, I couldn't come up with the name of that beer company. It was on the tip of my nipple. I was like, what is that company that has like Samuel Adams beer? Well, look right now on your screen. I was trying to say Boston Beer Company, ticker symbol SAM. They're reporting their earnings. And if you know anything about the alcohol industry and the industry, the way that it's going the path, dude, do not go near alcohol stocks. And I'm not saying that because it's a sin stock. I'm more so saying that because when you think about alcohol and the society expectations and consumption of it, it's changing. At least it is here in the US. I know in parts in Russia and in Asia, they still drink a crap ton. But in the US, the way that we consume alcohol, our behavior is changing. And as a result, people that are less than the age of 40, they're drinking less and less alcohol. So right now, their main sticky customers are those that are above like 50 years old, 60 years old. But as they get older, into the 70s and 80s, they tend not to drink anymore, right? Because there's like health complications with turning into an elderly person. When your balls get enough wrinkles, you end up deciding to take care of your health, and alcohol is one of the first things to go. And so if those people are getting aged out soon, and the people that are less than 40 are not consuming as much, can you see the problem? So alcohol, they're going to be in for some pain unless something changes, which I don't know if it will. Because the younger folks, they're more into the green herb than they are into alcohol. It's weird. There's also Jack in the Box, which if you are at all into like the hamburger food stocks, I don't know why you would want to invest into Jack in the Box. Yes, I think their breakfast menu slaps. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty darn good. I think I had it a few times during a road trip. I was like, dude, Jack in the Box is pretty good. But I don't think they're anywhere near the quality, caliber, and compounding attributes of McDonald's. If you're gonna go with the hamburger type of company, it's gotta be McDonald's. I think the next second closest one to that would be QSR. I think that's Restaurant Brands International, the parent company of Burger King. And then everyone else is like, I'm talking about the publicly traded ones, by the way. I feel like Wendy's and Jack in the Box would be pretty similar, nipple to nipple, but nowhere near the caliber of McDonald's. However, if we talk about privately traded hamburger chains, I think In-N-Out's got to be up there. In-N-Out is really good. Anyways, Extra Space Storage. So it sounds like all of these storage REITs are reporting their earnings this week. To be honest with you, I made this entire script. I did all this research and analysis on the storage REITs industry. I just never filmed it. So I know a lot about it. It's just, I don't know when I'm going to film it. I think the reason why I'm not filming it is because pound for pound, I think their valuations, every single one of the storage REITs are overvalued right now. So I feel like even if I make the video, there's not that much of a compelling case or argument for them because they're so overvalued that most people, they don't have it on their radar. But I'm waiting. Once they go on a sell-off, then I think people are going to start Googling like, what's Cube? What's Extra Space Storage? And I think that's when I should drop that video. Anyways, that's not, you're like, why should I care about that? Just do what you do, monkey. Tell me what companies are reporting. I got you, first of all. Don't call me a monkey, all right? I know I look like one, but I'm not. Let's move on to Wednesday. This is where the heavy hitters start to report. I think Monday and Tuesday, warm-up game, right? They're putting the lotion all over their, dry skin, kneecaps and elbow caps. But Wednesday, this is where the fight really begins. We got Lowe's, which is, I would argue they're a competitor to Home Depot. Everything to do with, it's a counterplay to So when people have extra money, right? I'm talking about the above average income households. When they have extra money, one of the first things that they do based on trends and historic behaviors is they start doing home improvement projects. They start upgrading the refrigerator, they start renovating the kitchen, they start replacing some of their toilets that don't flush right, so even when you drop a protein bar, a little trace of it still sticks to the bowl and your wife always complains. So they start replacing stuff around the house to make it a little better. I'm not a homeowner. One day I will be. But all that to say, once people have extra discretionary spending abilities on hand, extra cash, companies like Lowe's and Home Depot really thrive. So, with how things are going right now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. So, I don't know, I guess we'll see. And then we also have another big beer company, Anheuser-Busch, which, funny story, when I was doing my MBA recruiting, I kind of set the fishing net and I casted it really wide because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I tried out for leadership development programs, I did consulting, banking, I tried everything to see like what I would like, rather than just staying hyper-focused on one industry or one job title. And one of the opportunities that I turned down is Anheuser-Busch's ZX Ventures, the venture capital arm of their business. And when I look back on it, sometimes I'm like, dude, I think that would have been a sick role to come up with the next huge marketing campaign or innovative acquisitions that Anheuser-Busch could make. I think about that, I'm like, man, maybe I should have gone down that road. But anyways, that's neither here or there. Because I turned that down, here we are. Now I'm a loser that makes YouTube videos for the people. For the people. We also have UWMC, which I think it's one of the best mortgage lending companies out there. Love the CEO. Blackstone Secured Lending. I have this one highlighted because they were featured in my BDC ranking video, and I gotta say, they came out of nowhere, and they are solid. Absolutely legit. I don't want to give too much away unless you didn't watch that video, but I have this highlighted because if anything goes wrong, and they say, oh, we're experiencing the speed bump, and the market sells out of BXSL, 10%, 15%, I'm gonna be right there to catch Sleeping Beauty falling out of the window. I don't know why she's sleeping near the window, but if she falls, I'm catching her right away and I'm buying. I do not have any positions in them yet, but I think they're one of the highest quality BDCs out there right now. So I have it highlighted for that reason. We also have TJ Maxx, which is TJX, the one right below it. Hilarious business model. What they do is they buy out of season clothes, like say like this year, right? 2024, it just wrapped up. They had a lot of new trendy clothes that didn't sell. Well, they packaged it up into pallets and sell it by the pound to TJ Maxx. They buy it and then they put it into their inventory, all across the US in these warehouses. And then they bring them out slowly, like 5 or 10 years later. So you'll have like a soccer jersey from like 2011 being on sale as of right now at TJ Maxx if you walk into one of the stores, which I think is really funny. But I don't know. I used to buy all of my boxers and socks from TJ Maxx. So if you're a guy that doesn't really do fashion, TJ Maxx is the way to go. You can get pretty high quality clothes for like 50% off. I don't know. This is a weird recommendation to even make it. It's like, why are you telling me where to buy my underwear? I buy from Costco, okay? Shut up. Actually, does anyone buy their underwear from Costco? Maybe that's something I should check out. When you get up there in age, you're probably like, dude, shut up. You're probably like 18. I'm not 18. The face is deceiving. I'm in my mid-30s. I aged pretty well. But I feel like once you get up there in your age, Costco seems to be the natural point where you should buy your clothes. Because it's just like TJ Maxx. You get brand name, high quality goods for a fraction of the price. Anyways, I don't even know why I'm talking so much about TJ Maxx. I'm not even invested into them. I don't know if I'm bullish towards them either. I'm kind of neutral. And then there's Beyond Meat. This is a company that has absolutely no economic moat in what they do. There's so many different companies that are doing the same thing as them. I think there's another one called like Impossible Meat or whatever. When we talk about artificial meat, what really grinds my gears is why not just do something differently? Why are you trying to imitate and emulate and replicate the taste, look, and feel of meat and using soybeans instead? Like, that's disgusting. So please excuse my nipples, but if you are bullish and excited about Beyond Meat, I'm telling you right now, that's like falling in love with a hooker that works in Thailand. Like, you just got to stop it right there. I honestly am not bullish on any of the alternative meat companies out there because I tried my hardest, right? Whenever I look at a cute little cow or a pig, like, yeah, it breaks my heart to see them slaughtered and turned into sausages and a beef patty. It's sad, but, you just can't replace the feeling and the taste, that umami savoriness of a steak, of samgyeopsal, pork belly, or bacon. You just can't do it. I tried. I really did. I tried my hardest to fall in love with Beyond Meat. But dude, as soon as you take that first bite, it has like this weird, artificial, fake substance taste to it that just makes you want to spit it out. And I know I sound like a spoiled little kid that's complaining. I tried the one from Burger King, even when they had the fake meat burgers, I wasn't in love with it. As a matter of fact, the fast food companies, they thought that the audience and the demographics, they wanted to see fake meat burgers. So as a result, they implemented it all over their menus. And then after like a year or two, they X'd all of those projects. They're like, there's no demand. No one is buying this. But then again, that begs the question, maybe that's because the vegans, they don't really typically go to Burger King and McDonald's in the first place. So you're trying to sell this alternative meat burger to the fat people that want real beef. And that's why it's not selling. So I can see both sides of the argument. All that to say, I'm not bullish on artificial meat. And I think it's because I'm not a racist, okay? But maybe it's because I'm an idiot that just does not like the taste of it. However, if one day the taste of artificial meat surpasses that of real meat, you can sign me up. But I don't know if that day is going to come, friends and family. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Anyways, let's move along. There's so many companies to talk about. We also have Trinity Capital, ticker symbol TRIN. No, I'm not talking about the steroid, but TRIN. This is also another BDC, absolutely high quality, really good. If they say anything negative during their earnings report and Wall Street slaps them in the head, I'll be right there with an ice pack saying, "Are you okay, honey?" And I'll be buying it up. I'm not invested into them, but I would love to be. We also have Blooming Brands. And if you can't tell, some of the businesses that I love to talk about, as the name of this channel might imply, Dividend Compounders with Cheese, are the food and restaurant industry. I've never worked in it, but it's a business model that I can understand. For someone as stupid as me, with a peanut brain, I think make food, sell food, make money. I think that makes so much sense. So easy to comprehend. And Blooming Brands, let's talk about it, right? This is the parent company for Outback Steakhouse, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bonefish Grill, Fleming's Prime Steakhouse. And hearing that, you might be like, okay, that sounds pretty good. But I'm telling you right now, when I think about Blooming Brands as a guy who has tried every single one of those restaurants, I think of it as the ugly, the smelly, the stupid cousin of Darden restaurants. And I'm making that comparison right now if we were to just disregard financials and fundamentals for 1 second based on the attribute of taste of the food and menus. So bad. And you have to accept my apology. If you are invested into Blooming Brands, I know it's just my own take and life experience, but I've never had a good, pleasant experience at Carrabba's or Bonefish Grill. Literally no flavor. I take that back. I think Outback Steakhouse, pretty good, but pales in comparison to Texas Roadhouse. But everything else on their umbrella, Blooming Brands, no bueno. I will say this though, if you hate your wife, you guys got into an argument last week, but your anniversary is coming up, then I would encourage you to take her to a Blooming Brands restaurant. Because your unseasoned pasta with no flavor, it's going to be a smashing hit for her. She's going to be like, "How dare you take me here? It tastes like crap." And you can giggle and smile because I warned you ahead of time. No flavor, no spices. I feel like if I have any British viewers tuning in right now, you would love to eat at a Blooming Brands restaurant. It would be right up your alley. It would fit right in with the foods that you are used to eating day in and day out. No flavor, no spices. All right, before I get too many hater comments, let's move on to the next company. So right underneath Blooming Brands, we have Zevia. Now, something about me that is really weird is that I have this allergy towards artificial sweeteners. So when we talk about aspartame or sucralose, whenever I eat something that has fake sugar, I get the biggest cyst pimples all over my face. I don't know what it is. However, when we talk about natural sweeteners like monk fruit or honey or stevia, no effects whatsoever. And it's not that I have diabetes, okay? I don't. So comes into play Zevia. This is a soda company that makes all of their soda with like 2 or 3 ingredients, water and, the flavor, natural flavors, but also stevia. I'm a huge fan of their sodas because for the longest time, I have not been able to consume soda. Like when I was a kid growing up, I didn't have that allergy towards fake sugar because I think at the time they were using real sugar, right? But then eventually all of these companies started to move towards lab-made sweeteners. And as a result, I just couldn't consume soda anymore. But then I found out about Zevia during a shopping trip to Sam's Club one day, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. And come to find out, they're publicly traded. I think right now they're like a penny stock. Could be wrong, but I think they're like less than 80 cents a share, something like that. And what I truly hope happens, I don't want this company to go belly up. What they are doing, there's one guy out here, at least one guy who's clapping, celebrating their products. Because there's people like me that want to drink soda, but are allergic to artificial sweeteners. So I can't drink almost any soda brand out there, but I can drink Zevia. So what I think is going to happen, call me crazy, call me delusional, I'm invested into Keurig Dr. Pepper and PepsiCo. If one of those two companies could please acquire Zevia, dude, I would be so grateful and happy because that would give them additional funding, capital, and the supply chain for them to thrive in order to survive. Because Zevia is a startup company. They're trying to do this, but the big dogs are bullying them, right? Because no one else is using expensive ingredients to make soda. They're trying to make it as efficiently with high margins and as fast as possible. Whereas Zevia is doing it with an expensive ingredient known as stevia. And I got to give them props. So I hope they thrive. Underneath them, we also have National Vision Holdings, ticker symbol I. Really funny. And it's the parent company for a retail chain of eyeglass store known as America's Best. Eyeglasses and contacts or something like that. I know a lot about this company because my wife used to work there as an optician for like 2 or 3 years. I know, it's pretty funny. I didn't even know they were publicly traded, come to find out. Really funny. Would I ever invest into an eyeglass store, physical retail store? No, I would not. And they also don't pay a dividend, which furthers my cause to say no thank you. I'm flattered, but no thank you, right? Like, how do people reject you these days? It's been so long since I've been on the market. Like, what do they even do if you say, I'm so sorry? If you go up to someone, they're really pretty, and like, I'm so sorry. I just got to talk to you. My name is Ken. Can I get your number? What do they even say these days to reject? I feel like what I just said is something from like a 1950s movie. Oh, I'm flattered, but I am taken, darling. I feel like that's not what they say these days. I feel like the first instinct, based on all the crazies out there, justifiable, based on all the crazies, I feel like the first instinct is like, grab bear spray or mace spray, pepper spray, right? Pepper spray, get away from me. At least that's what I would do if I was a female and some dude just walked up on me. But yeah, I guess that's a shower thought. How do the young females reject the men these days? Anyways, we have Paramount Global, competitor to Netflix, Warner Bros, and all of that. Essential Utilities, which they also do natural gas and water. But yeah, I guess the name implies that, right? Utilities. There's Brink's company. They do security. And there's Nvidia. This is the heavy hitter that I wanted to talk about. All eyes will be on Nvidia on Wednesday. As a matter of fact, I feel like the rest of this week is going to be blurry because every single investor, hedge fund, analyst, amateur investor like you and me, we're all going to be taking a look at what Nvidia is about to say on Wednesday. I will say this. If they do poop their pants, every associated AI company is going to dip into the red with them. They're going to bring down the entire market. So if things do not go well, I'm calling it right now. Wednesday is going to be a very bloody red day. I'm talking about they can lose up to like $500 billion of their market cap on one day, which makes me nervous, but not really. Because that's like thinking of things in a very pessimistic and a cynical mindset. Based on how hot AI is right now and how things are going for them, what I'm going to say is I think they're going to crush. However, you do need to put that crush mentality into, I guess you have to simmer it down a little bit, because even if they post, triple digit growth numbers, it still might not be enough for Wall Street. When it comes to Nvidia, I feel like the expectations for them are just bonkers. Everything about this company is priced in already. The expectations are so high, even a triple digit growth number might not be enough. So what I'm trying to say is that they cannot just meet the expectations they have laid out for the analysts. Like, we're predicting our EPS to be $3 a share, and we're proud to announce $3. No, they can't just meet it. They need to absolutely demolish it, like the Berlin Wall coming down on 1989. They need to just grab it by the neck and choke it. You wanted $3? Look left and right. Well, we're going to give you $7. And their stock price is going to go through the moon, because what's priced in is probably like $4, right? So I don't know. I think Wednesday is going to be really exciting. What I am going to tell you right now is if they do go on a unjustifiable, emotional, overreactive sell-off, I'm going to be buying more shares. That's my personal game plan. Do not copy me. That's my game plan. What else we got? We got Salesforce. We have Joby Aviation. Funny enough, I used to be invested into them, and they are in the business of making like these drone aircraft delivery planes. Do I still believe in them? I don't know if I do. I sold out of them like 4 years ago or something, and I just never looked back. But they're there. And then there's Sweet Green. They're trying to be like the vegetarian salad version of Chipotle. Do I believe in them? No, I don't. I don't know what it is with me being so against vegetarian food. It's not that I want them to fail. It's not that. It's just I tried so hard to fall for vegan and vegetarian friendly food, but it always tastes like ass, like a bag of straight farts and ass. Maybe I'm just not eating the right stuff. I don't know. We also have eBay. We have two REITs, EPR, which is basically a REIT company for experiential stuff. Talking about museums, ski resorts, laser tag, stuff like that. And there's Sun Communities, really funny REIT because their portfolio of properties is so different and unique. I think they have an economic moat because they're so unique. So 3 pillars. They do manufactured homes, RVs, and marina homes. Houses that are like near the dock, by the sea, or near water. Very, very unique. Am I going to say I'm bullish towards them? No. All right, let's move on to Thursday, friends and family. Well, we got Thursday. Thursday, we have TD Bank. If you don't get it by now, every single big Canadian bank is reporting their earnings this week. So if you are invested into a Canadian bank, I feel like the first one that's reporting is going to set the tone and the trend for the rest of them. We have Warner Bros. There's Medical Properties Trust. This is probably one of the worst REITs out there. Oh, don't go near it. Please don't go near it. I don't even know you and I'm trying to look out for you. Don't go near it. And then I have Papa John's highlighted. I'm invested into them. I'm going to tell you this right now. Depending on how things go with Domino's earlier on in the week, I think Papa John's is already going to be $40 by the time it hits Thursday. Like if Domino's poops the bed and they're like, dude, things are terrible. No one's buying pizza. Papa John's is also going to go on a sell-off despite reporting their earnings on Thursday. Or if Domino's tells everyone stuff that makes every nipple on Wall Street perky, like poking through the shirt perky, I think Papa John's has the potential to reach and hit $60 a share on Thursday if they also share that sentiment. And they're like, guys, I don't know what it is, but everybody was buying pizza. So we crushed earnings. If they say that, I would be a pretty happy camper. And honestly, when you think about it, the past 90 days, right? We're talking about like October, November, December. When I think about the winter season and late autumn with the football games, all the different various get-togethers, college students studying for their final exams, and holidays that require pizza, I feel like that's going to be big business for Domino's and Papa John's. I know that's the stupidest investment thesis, but I think they're going to crush. Because if you think about it right now, I'm telling you, I'm about to put you on. As a former manager of having people directly report to me, if your workplace did not give you an end-of-the-year pizza party, you better freaking annoy your supervisor beyond belief until you get a 4 or 5% raise. So I feel like we used to put out flames by giving the people pizza, which looking back is a humiliation and an insult. Like, listen, Robert, I know you're asking for a 1% raise, but the best we can do is some soggy ass pizza from Papa John's. Only one per person. Everyone in the office needs one. I feel like giving them the pizza was probably so insulting, but that's just what we were forced to do. Kind of funny looking back, but if you did not get an end of the year workplace pizza party, I'm telling you, dude, you got to keep your salary in line with the rate of inflation. You better be, next time you have your performance review, get the balls to be like, dude, why did I not get a raise this year? Do you not see my contributions to the company's bottom line? How I've been onboarding and helping all of these new hires get up to speed at a pace that is 3 times faster than the expectations? I am doing so much for you. And then just like flip the table, pick up a chair, get HR called on you and walk out of the building in handcuffs. Dude, that could be a hell of a story. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do anything like that. Please don't be crazy. Keep your job, do the right thing, whether or not you got a raise. What else do we have? We also have, let's see, J.M. Smucker, which is a food CPG company so I don't remember their financials and fundamentals off the top of my head, but I think it was just average. But I am saying the stuff that I'm about to say on a very superficial level. Their brand, actually their umbrella and portfolio of brands, I'm just not in love. I don't like any of their brands. Well, that was a lie. I do like the Smucker jam. I think it's pretty good. But everything else, like even their pet foods category, everything, dude, not feeling it. Not good. I feel like the better alternative would be General Mills, but J.M. Smucker, I don't know, man. We also have Vistra Energy, and I'm about to put you on right now. It's an electricity and power generation company that is partnering with the AI players, because when you think about it, AI, they need uninterrupted power to have their servers up and running 24/7 without anything happening to disrupt that connectivity, right? So they might have solar panels on their roof and they might already be metered by the local utility company, but they're also going to buy additional energy ported over by companies such as Vistra Energy. Now, what pisses me off is, so I invested into 2 different companies that are also doing the same thing as Vistra, okay? And I guess I picked the wrong ones because this is one of the winners. Because Nancy Pelosi just went balls deep into this a few weeks ago, and now this company is going through the roof because she knows something that we don't, right? And I'm going to talk about one of the other 2 companies that I'm into, I think, on the next slide. But the investment thesis for that, I think, is kind of funny, but it makes sense. AI warehouses and the data centers, they need more power than is, more reliable and stable power and a backup plan for power than normal companies and factories when you think about it. So now we have Vital Farms. I know, you're going to be like, what? I used to be invested into them and I walked away with a tiny profit. They're in the business of making like organic cage-free eggs and people love that. I think a lot of the consumers are finally realizing it's not enough to just get your product. we want to know that it's humanely sourced or that it's ethically raised or, that the chicken didn't go through torture. And that's what Vital Farms is. They also do, I think they used to, but I don't think they do it anymore. They used to also make grass-fed butter, which I'm in Japan, so I'm not totally up to date with everything that's happening in the US, like the bird flu and everything, but I feel like all of the other mass production farms are probably suffering right now because they had to sterilize and cull all their chickens. And I would argue Vital Farms is probably thriving. So I don't know, just something to throw out there. I'm not invested into them. I don't really care. And then we also have ADT, which is the competitor to Brinkers that we talked about earlier, Securities, Hilton Grand Vacations, and then there's Hormel Foods, ticker symbol HRL. I'm invested into them. The best way I can sum it up, they have so much under their brands ranging from pork to nuts, but the best way that I can, summarize Hormel is think of them as a protein CPG food business. They have 59 years of dividend growth, meaning their dividend payout has been growing for 59 years straight. More likely than not, older than you've been alive or longer than you've been alive, they've been raising the dividend, which I think is phenomenal. And because they're reporting their earnings for the Christmas and Thanksgiving season, means a lot of turkeys were eaten, right? Are you seeing eye to eye with me right now? So I think Hormel should post solid earnings. If not, I'm going to be a man of my word. I'm going to be eating ramen for the rest of the week as punishment because I'm invested into them and I believe in them. And if they say, guys, we did terribly, I don't know what happened. We missed EPS and revenue expectations. We're sorry. If that happens, ramen for the rest of the week for me. And I'm not talking about the good tonkatsu broth ramen. I'm talking about that cheap 20-cent ramen that comes in like that wrapping that's like, really loud. That ramen. So we have Hormel, and then is there anything else crazy? Royal Bank of Canada. There's also Solvitum, which is a spinoff from 3M. They used to be the same company, but it's like the healthcare segment of 3M. I did not want Solvitum. I really didn't. I'm a shareholder of 3M, and when they had the spinoff, they gave me shares of Solvitum, and I just decided to hold on to it, and it's doing well, so I'm like, whatever, but I'm not particularly bullish, and that's probably my reminder to go sell it. I don't know why I'm holding on to them if I don't really believe in them. I mean, they've been doing good. It's just, I guess you can't really be mad if you were gifted free shares. I mean, that's what it is. It was free. The spinoff allowed shares of Solvitum to enter into my portfolio. I had to do nothing on my part. It just happened. Likewise, if you had Johnson & Johnson in your portfolio and they had the spinoff of Kenvue, you also got shares of it without having to do anything. What else do we have? We also have Archer Aviation, exact same thing that Joby is trying to do. Oh, did I also mention they're trying to implement, autonomous AI robo-taxi aircrafts. So instead of using Tesla or Uber to drive on the road to your destination, they can like a helicopter, take you from one rooftop to the next. And I think at the time when I did my research into them 4 years ago or whatever, I think they could only carry one passenger at the time. So I don't know. Just something to think about. I'm not really, maybe one day it's going to be like a 10-bagger, but I'm not really into them right now. I don't want to risk it because it seems really risky, doesn't it? Doesn't it even sound risky? All of the regulation and laws that have to be passed for people to be flying midair. I don't know. I just feel like there's too many hurdles to pass. There's Duolingo, HP Inc., another storage unit known as CubeSmart, and then there's Main Street Capital, which I think is a textbook example of an S-tier BDC. And I know this sounds evil, selfish, maybe even racist, but a part of me wishes that they could just go on a sell-off so that I could buy into them. A part of me, maybe the left nipple. Not the whole mind, body, and soul, but just the left nipple is go on a sell-off so I can buy some. Because I've been wanting to buy into them for probably closer to 3 or 4 years now, and I just have not pulled the trigger. Because when it comes to BDCs, you need to associate them to their NAV per share or book value. And for them, they are on the So in a perfect world, you want to get it for 1-for-1. If the market share price is about 1-to-1 to their book value per share price, you're getting a really good deal. Think of it as like getting a company undervalued, or getting a company on the dip, or getting a company that's on a like a PE of like a 10. That's, I guess, the best way I can describe it. But to see them be on the other end of the spectrum, to have like a 5,000 PE, right, basically, and their book value, they're like 2 times above their book value. I can't justify it because I know how to evaluate a BDC. I'm like, I just don't want to overpay for it. But realistically, I don't think anything bad is going to happen to them on Thursday, because based on how all the other BDCs have been performing for like the past 2 weeks, because I've been monitoring the other BDCs, they've been crushing. So is it weird for me to also associate Main Street Capital with success? I think they're going to do well, which means their stock price is going to go even higher, and I'm never going to get the opportunity to buy into them. And then underneath them, we have Monster Beverage, which is an energy drink company. And the one that I wanted to talk about above them is also a BDC known as Goldman Sachs BDC. They were also featured in my BDC ranking video, and I'm about to go off course here. So when it comes to music, I listen to a little bit of everything. Jazz, classical, 70s music, punk rock, techno, rap. I'm just a whore when it comes to music. I'm not loyal to any one genre or one artist. I listen to everything. I think I appreciate music on all different spectrums. I think it's one of the beauties of life. If you appreciate music, I think it adds color to your life. Damn, dude, that's getting really deep. But all that to say, there's a point. Goldman Sachs, the parent company for this BDC, is one of the biggest, prestigious financial firms around the world, and I would argue probably top 3 investment banking firms. They have a CEO. His name is David Solomon. And believe it or not, in his free time, or I guess his side hustle, I don't know why you need a side hustle when you're basically a billionaire. I feel like once you're a billionaire, just have fun. Just do whatever you want to do. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a passion project instead of a side hustle. So I don't think he's doing it for the money. I think he's doing it because that's what he truly wanted to do. But I bet he had like a heart-to-heart talk with his father that's like, I'm disappointed in you. You're going to continue getting your education. You're going to go into banking, and this is what you're going to do in a suit and tie. I don't know. Maybe that happened. Maybe it didn't. But that's probably what happened, because his side project, passion that he does, he DJs. And I'm not talking about at like a little kid's birthday party. This dude DJs for EDM and house and techno and trance, the hugest events on planet Earth. He even DJ'd at Tomorrowland, which if you go to raves or if you're familiar with that scene, is one of the biggest ones out there. His stage name is DJ D Soul, which I think is pretty cool. Because when you think about CEOs, more often than not, they're usually evil, arrogant, narcissistic, self-centered. They don't care about humanity. To be a CEO, you need to put the company first and think about profit. So it makes sense of why the typical CEO is the way they are. And they're usually void of any human qualities and traits that allows the normal person to be relatable to them. But I would argue that David would most likely be invited to the cookout with us common folk, because I think he's cool. I know, I don't even know the dude, but I listened to his track set and music performance. I was like, dude, this actually slaps. For the CEO of Goldman Sachs to be having a second life, it's like that show Hannah Montana, where like you live 2 different lives. And apparently he was doing it for a while, and then like in 2021 or 2022, when all the banks were going on a sell-off, I guess like the press got into it, and they were like, why aren't you focusing more on Goldman Sachs financial, priorities? Why are you DJing? Why are you playing music? He got so much political pressure that he had to give it up. Apparently he doesn't even do it anymore, which I think sucks. Whether or not he DJs would make no impact to Goldman Sachs. As a matter of fact, I think it would add more sex appeal and add more, positive rhetoric and I guess cookie points to the fact that the CEO is a DJ. But to take that away because of like peer pressure and because it doesn't fit the prototypical mold of a CEO, I don't know. It did not sit right with me. But yeah, I think he's a pretty cool dude. Would I invest into the BDC though? No, I think it's one of the worst ones out there. I know it's a long-winded way of me saying I don't like the business, but I think I like the CEO. Like that's the kind of dude that you would share a drink with and hang out. Anyways, let's move right along to Friday. Friday, we have AES Core. So do you remember how earlier I alluded to I invested into two companies that also do the exact same thing that Vistra does, power generation, utilities. AES is one of them. Because what I am thinking, I only put like $50 into it. Maybe I bought like 5 shares, maybe less. So it's just one of those like fun investments. Whether or not it happens, it won't be too big of a deal. But anyways, what I'm thinking is one of the AI companies like Microsoft or Amazon is going to partner with them to help provide additional power. At least that's what I think, because AES also they have a whole boatload of power plants under their portfolio and umbrella. So they don't just have utility companies, they also have power plants. And I'm like, it's a stupid investment thesis, I know. But I'm going to be seeing what happens. Because if you go to their website, or if you open up AES Core's investment materials, they have what I just said plastered everywhere. The fact that they partner with Meta, Google, Amazon, because they are providing power to them. But what I want to see is a bigger, more exclusive contract. Like for the next 10 years, we're going to be providing 65% of all energy needs for Microsoft. Something like that would make my tits jacked. I'd be like, whoa. But we'll see what happens. And then there's also Owens and Minor. They make like medical supply equipment like gloves, syringes, stuff that you see in a clinic or hospital. So that wraps it up, folks. Those are the companies that are reporting their earnings this week. My question to you is, which ones are you most excited about? Which ones do you have in your portfolio? And if you like this video, do me a solid, click like. If not, it's okay. I love you guys. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.